So my friends, the calendar has officially flipped over to the month of August, which means the gloves are off for those of us who love fall fragrances. Now, I know that there are still quite a few of you who are like, please don't usher summer out the door. I love summer. But for me, living in Arizona, let me tell you, I am way over the heat and I know it will be lingering here until late October, early November. The only way really that I get to experience fall is through home fragrance. And so I always get really excited about fall home fragrance. I love fall candles. And I feel like we can talk about them in July. We know that a lot of candles start launching their fall lineup in the month of July, but it still seems a little bit weird talking about it in that month. I don't know. Are you with me on that if you're a really seasonal burner? But I feel like once we hit August, it feels a little bit more appropriate to do so. Anyways, in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my top 10 Kringle candles for the season of fall. Now, these are not candles that are just new candles. In fact, a lot of these have been on the website for quite some time. These are candles that I have repurchased. For the most part, there are a couple of new ones in here. Now, I do want to apologize. I do know that my content this week has been pretty Kringle heavy, and that is honestly due to the fact that tonight Kringle will be launching their part one of their Halloween launch at 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. So that's midnight for those of you on the East Coast of the US. If you are like me on the West Coast, that is at around 9 o'clock tonight. And a couple of weeks ago, I did hear from some of you guys when the fall collection was released that you were saying that you still wanted some post-burn reviews on the fall collection. And actually, a number of you said that you knew that Halloween was going to be launched pretty soon as well. And so you just kind of felt like, well, I'm going to wait until I get those post-burn reviews on fall, and then I can save some money on shipping. And if there are any candles that I'm interested in, I'll pick them up at that time. And so I really wanted to make sure that I don't want to say met that demand for you guys. You guys are not demanding, but I did want to make sure that you got some reviews out prior to the launch date. You guys know that I was actually gone for a week in July, so I felt a little bit delayed. So anyways, you guys, this week felt a little bit heavy on the Kringle. I will let you guys know that this weekend I'm getting back to more balanced content. I will be having my July candle empties coming up this weekend, as well as a Bath and Body Works haul. I did participate in the $12.95 sale, and yeah, I'm excited to share some fun goodies with you there. Also, you will want to stay tuned for the end of this video because surprisingly, you guys, I am planning to purchase 2 candles from the Halloween launch tonight. So I will let you know which candles I'm planning to purchase. But yeah, if you caught my Halloween preview video, I'll have it linked at the end of this video if you did not see it. But you guys do know that if you saw that one, that I actually withdrew my name from contention for receiving Halloween PR. I went over that a little bit more in the other video. So I thought it would be more fun to focus on a video that I was excited about. Fall excites me a lot more than Halloween, and so I thought that this would just be a fun video to share with you guys. You can put these on a wish list for a later date if you want to, or feel free to throw them in your cart if your budget allows during the Halloween shopping spree. So I think I went over everything. My intros are always really long, and I apologize for that. As always, you guys, the fragrances that I talk about today will be listed and linked with timestamps down below. I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase with Kringle Candle. Please know that code, as well as any ambassador codes, are affiliates. They are eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you're comfortable. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these fragrances. And I know I said top 10, but honestly, you guys, there's 11 here. There's going to be an honorable mention, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. So the first fragrance that I wanted to talk about is Banana Bread from Country Candle. This is a limited edition release that actually came out, I want to say, about 2 months ago now. The fragrance notes listed on here are banana bread, vanilla, and homemade bread. I did do a dedicated review on this candle earlier this week, and I did say that this candle to me smells a lot like banana bread batter. I feel like this is a great year-round fragrance. I probably wouldn't burn it around like the holidays, just because to me, banana bread is not like a holiday fragrance. But otherwise, I think this is a great fragrance, especially during this time of year. Right now, it's a great, good gourmand scent that can kind of like usher out summer. It's still a little bit summery because you've got that overripe banana note in here with a touch of spice. It's kind of like a cinnamon note to my nose. Oh, it's really, really good. But you can burn it now. You can burn it after the holidays. You can burn it throughout fall, maybe with like a pumpkin scent. I know that one of Yankee's most popular fragrances is that pumpkin banana scone. This is just a really, really good gourmand fragrance, and I definitely had to incorporate it in here. I did do a dedicated review on that a little bit earlier this week, so yeah, feel free to check that one out. It'll be linked down below. Also, I did want to let you guys know, this is actually the second time that I am filming this video. I actually filmed this whole video yesterday, and when I went to edit it last night, I was having issues. The audio quality on it was awful. I am dealing with a new microphone, so I don't know how it's going to come across. So I'm just getting out ahead of it in case I go to edit this video tonight and the sound quality is terrible again. It just is what it is at this point. It's a lot of trial and error. All right, let's talk about a fragrance that was released in 2023. This is, what is this? Bourbon Bonfire. I knew it was Bonfire or something. Bourbon Bonfire. Now, this is in the 3-wick format. I do know that this also comes in the large and the medium-sized 2-wick tumblers, but this is my favorite format. Across the board with Kringle, the 3-wicks are my favorites. This candle, oh my word, you guys, I have, like I said, 2 of these 3-wicks currently in my collection. The fragrance notes on here are Tennessee whiskey, golden aged rum, crushed clove, cinnamon sticks, cedarwood, sandalwood, and smoked vanilla bean. My nose detects on this one, there is a little bit of a smoky vanilla bean as like a base note here, but you definitely get that whiskey and rum, that like sweet liquor note at the top. Oh, it is really, really good. If you do have to like boozy fragrances, I will give it that. If you like boozy fragrances, I think that this is a safe bet for you. I've told this story, I think previously before, but in 2023, when I ordered the fall collection, it was delivered in the middle of July. And in the summer of 2023, Phoenix had a like period where they had like 2 weeks where it was near 120 degrees. And unfortunately, my candles were sitting on a UPS truck during that spell. So when they were delivered to me, I actually had this fragrance in a large 2-wick tumbler because I really like the label on it. And when it arrived at my doorstep, it was melted. It was not pretty. Kringle did refund me. They had great customer service for that. But then I was like, gosh, I have all of this wax. And what I ended up doing with it was a couple of months later, like I want to say it was like last November, my 2 younger kids had like an entrepreneur project for their school, and they were selling things that they came up with at our local farmers market. And one of the things that they were selling were fire starters. And so we used the wax from that melted Bourbon Bonfire to put on the fire starter pine cones. Oh my goodness, you guys, those sold out so quickly and everybody was raving about the fragrance. They really, really loved it. Yeah, so if you like kind of like boozy, but you do get that smoked vanilla bean in here. This isn't an overly smoky fragrance to my nose. It's definitely more boozy than it is smoky. Then I think that you would like this fragrance. But this is one that I definitely love. I've repurchased it. One of the newer fragrances in the fall 2024 lineup that I highly, highly recommend, Warm and Toasty. Fragrance notes here are cedar, smoke, sweet, marshmallow, amber, and sugar. I did do a post-burn review on this candle earlier this week. This candle was sent to me in PR. The other 2 I had actually purchased already. I do try to always distinguish if a candle has been sent to me in PR, and this one was sent to me. I did do a post-burn review on this already, and in that review, I told you guys that this to me, when you get it in on cold sniff, you definitely smell those top notes of cedar and smoke. But when this candle is burning, that vanilla and the amber, you get like that toasty marshmallow accord that comes out. It's a really, really sophisticated take, I believe, on Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fire side. It's different. It's a different enough fragrance. In fact, spoiler alert for my Bath & Body Works haul, I did finally purchase Marshmallow Fireside, and they're 2 completely different fragrances. But if you happen to like one, you will like the other. Ooh, this is just so good, and it is one of the most versatile fragrances currently in my collection. I've been burning it in the evenings. This is a candle that I will definitely be repurchasing. I think I want to try it out in the 3-wick. But yeah, great, great fall fragrance, and it can carry you even through winter, I would say, even in summer if you wanted to. All right, here is a candle that I actually only have it in the daylight right now. I don't have it in the larger format because I did burn through it last fall. And right now you guys know, if you've been with me, I am trying to be extremely mindful about my fall candle collection. But this is a fragrance that I thoroughly enjoyed last year and I would recommend it to you. It is Autumn Spice. I have it just in the little daylight here. So this fragrance to me, I don't have the fragrance notes listed here. Again, you guys, I will have them, I will have all of the candles listed down below. So if you want to go to the Kringle website and check out the fragrance notes, you can, if I don't talk about them on here. This to me, I feel like is if you like Yankee Candle's pumpkin spice, or not pumpkin spice, I think it's called spiced pumpkin. It reminds me of spiced pumpkin with a little bit of like a citrus, like an orange citrus note in the background of it. It kind of reminds me of like 90s Michael's craft store. It's kind of that generic fall fragrance, but also that fragrance is kind of endearing to a lot of us. It's just versatile. It smells good. It is definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's talk about a candle that might surprise some people because I don't think, again, that this is a fragrance that most people would associate with just being like a fall fragrance. And I agree. I think that it's probably a good year-round scent if you're not a seasonal burner. And it kind of takes a little bit different path. This is Golden Tobacco from Country Candle. Now, I originally purchased this in a daylight, and then when they reformulated from the paraffin to the soy wax, I decided that I wanted to purchase this in a larger format. The fragrance notes on Golden Tobacco are tobacco, cedarwood, cypress, pepper, what does that say? Amber, oh boy, oil bonum, sandalwood, leather, suede, and sweet incense. This is a really nice, this is a good, nice, sweet tobacco fragrance. You get that base note of suede in here. I really, really enjoy this scent. There's something that's, this isn't as tobacco heavy as, say, if you had the Halloween release last year of Scarecrow. That's a little bit more like tobacco in a hayfield. There's none of that element here. This is very much like sophisticated gentleman. It doesn't smell like a cigar or really a, like definitely not cigarettes. I mean, who wants that smell? But I get like that suede note in here with the tobacco. What other notes am I picking up in there? Maybe a little bit of sandalwood. Cypress is more of a tree note. I'm not picking that up. And the pepper isn't like super peppery. Definitely some amber and some cedar wood. Sweet incense, yeah, would lend a sweet smokiness to it. But this is just a very nice, I feel like it's like a gentle tobacco type of scent. Really, really nice. I feel like yeah, that one would go well with a lot of other fragrances. I've actually been burning it with the Warm and Toasty, as well as Homeworks' Palo Santo Pumpkin a couple of nights, and I've really, really been enjoying that. Next up, I have a new 3-wick candle that was released earlier in the spring, and I think this one kind of caught people off guard because when this was released, a lot of people were like, this isn't like a spring type of fragrance, which I agree with them, but I kind of made note of it and decided to purchase it at another point in the summer, and I thought I'm going to put that one aside for fall because it did intrigue me. This is Apple Leaf. Now, I'm going to tell you, I just lit this candle up over this past weekend, and I'm going to tell you, this is a favorite between my daughters. They really, really like this scent. When I have been burning it, they walk into the room and they're like, ooh, I really, really like that. That smells really good. So I don't have the fragrance notes in front of me on this, but I will tell you, this to me smells very much like an apple tree. So if you've ever had an apple tree and you go outside and you freshly pick off an apple, we actually had a small apple tree right outside my window growing up at the home I grew up in. And I remember going out there, this is very nostalgic, and pulling off the apples. They weren't quite ripe yet. I obviously was a child and probably shouldn't have been doing that. But this reminds me so much of pulling that apple off freshly, and I could smell the leaf. You could smell the woody stem. That is what this fragrance smells like to me. It is really, really good. And I will do a dedicated review on this, but so far, this one has been performing quite well in my open concept. So this is, I feel like this is a really good fragrance to start burning right now because it is kind of a transitional scent for me. It's not full on apple and like spice heavy apple, but it's definitely more of a wooded apple fragrance. While we're going a little bit off of the beaten path when it comes to some fall fragrances, I have a reserve candle that I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily loop into being a fall fragrance, but this is one of the candles that came back into stock when they did kind of that surprise restock this last April. And this was a candle that I've burned all the way through. When it was restocked, I decided to go ahead and repurchase it because it is one of the most unique fragrances that I have ever come across in home fragrance. And it is sweet and savory. So I don't believe that the fragrance notes are on here. And I'm going to tell you guys that a lot of people say that on cold sniff, some people say that they think it smells like Fritos. I could kind of see where they're coming from with this, but I will tell you that to my nose, especially when this is burning, I think that naming this sweet and savory is so appropriate. This to me smells like a freshly baked, like that molasses bread that you get at the Cheesecake Factory, or if you've ever walked in and they're baking like a fresh pumpernickel bread, that's what this smells like. You get the sweetness of like a molasses in here, but it's not cloying sweetness, mixed with that like buttery, savory, almost salty type of fragrance. This is one that I will tell you, if you get it and you sniff it on cold and you're like, I don't know about this, when you start burning this, it totally transforms. It is a gorgeous fragrance. Definitely one that I always want to have in my collection, but I really in particular like burning this when it's kind of like cloudy and overcast, or maybe some rainy days. There's something about this fragrance that unlocks a scent memory for me. I don't know why, but it's like a scent memory that's affiliated with rainy days. So oh, I'm so glad that I have that one in my collection. I was really excited. Even the ambassadors, we were not told that they were restocking those reserve candles. So we were just as caught off guard and really excited about that. So I was definitely happy to get my hands on that. All right, this is the candle that I will tell you is my honorable mention because I love this fragrance, but when I went to check on the website, it looks like the large and medium-sized 2-wick tumblers are sold out. It is only available in daylight and wax melt form right now, but this is apple cider donut. So I live in Arizona. I do not have apple or like, what are they called? Like cider mills or anything like that near me. I always hear about people and back east and in the Midwest, you guys all talk about going to the cider mill in the month of October. Honestly, I'm always envious of those of you who can look cute in your boots and stuff at the pumpkin patch and the cider mill. And yeah, we try that here in Arizona, and we are roasting because it's still 90 degrees out in the month of October. But this fragrance to me, oh, you get that cider note in here. You get the spice of like cinnamon and clove. Now, I will say that the donut accord in here, it's not the same type of donut note that you get, say, in any of like the Homeworks donut fragrances. Now, we know that those are kind of like, Harry Slatkin really nails the like fried donut accord. This to me is more of like a dense, like cake type of donut, which I've never had an apple cider donut. So that might be a very accurate thing. It might be apple cider donuts. I just have a feeling that those are probably a lot more dense in texture. I mean, plenty of you probably have eaten them, so you can comment down below if that is true or not. I'm just looking at the picture here, and that's what it looks like to me. But this is an amazing fragrance. I love this one. So I hope that they're not discontinuing it, because I have a feeling that that's like a popular scent, and it's definitely a good one. All right, I wanted to talk about a fragrance that I feel like is one of the underrated superheroes of the Kringle fall lineup. I never hear any other ambassadors talking about this candle, but I am beating the drum for it because this is an amazing fragrance. This is Autumn Amber. Now, the reason why I like this fragrance so much is because one of my all-time favorite fragrances from Bath & Body Works, which I haven't seen it back as like an online, the last few years it's been an online exclusive, but one of my favorite fragrances from Bath & Body Works is Autumn. If you like Bath & Body Works Autumn, this is very, very similar. I haven't had Autumn in my collection in probably like 2 years now. So obviously I don't have it here with me to do a side-by-side comparison, but I will tell you just off of scent memory, this to me is, I think every time I smell this, the first time I smelled it, I was like, oh, that smells like Bath & Body Works Autumn. You get kind of that like apple accord in here. It's not as astringent, say, as like leaves. There's an amber, kind of a woody note in the background here. Really, really underrated candle, you guys. I'm telling you, if you know what Bath & Body Works Autumn smells like, then you're going to like this one. Oh, it's just so, so good. It's my favorite. This is one of my favorite candles to burn, particularly in the month of September. And as we were just speaking about leaves, I actually like one of my favorite Bath & Body Works combos was always leaves and amber. I think that they complement each other well, but I prefer the cleaner burn of Kringle candles and the more, I would say, I generally know how Kringle candles are going to burn. Bath & Body Works is always a hit or miss. Leaf Peeper, which is kind of, again, a little bit more sophisticated take on Bath & Body Works leaves. It's the same fragrance family. You get a little bit more eucalyptus in here, and I feel like the apple note in here is slightly sweeter, a little bit more potent, which I know a lot of people have said with Bath & Body Works leaves that that sometimes can be like headache inducing. That being said, even though I think that this is inspired by that fragrance, it's not as like in your face harsh, I guess. That's the way that I would describe it. But this was also released in 2023, and I think that this is another great fragrance. And then the last one that I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I have not yet burned this candle. Also, I'm going to apologize if you hear my son giggling and stuff in the background. He is sitting over at the kitchen table right now, just who knows what, laughing away at something. Are you finding something funny, entertaining, Lane? Yes. Okay. Anyways, he's in the background there. All right, the last fragrance, I haven't burned this yet, but it reminds me of a scent that I actually stocked up on last year. And I want to point out the differences, but because I liked the other one enough to purchase it, okay, we're just going to talk about it here. This is the new Salted Maple Pumpkin from Kringle Candle. You can see I haven't burned it yet. On cold sniff, I'm in love. I love it. So on cold sniff, and the fragrance notes listed are spice, maple, butter, sweet, cinnamon, vanilla. And I was smelling this and I kept smelling it and I was like, I feel like I've smelled this before. Where have I smelled this before? I kept thinking like maybe it was like a Bath & Body Works candle. No, you know where I feel like I've smelled this before? It's another Kringle candle that was available last year in the Halloween 3-wicks. If you happen to have liked Pumpkin Smash, which has fragrance notes of white pumpkin seeds, pumpkin puree, lemon, brown sugar, cinnamon sticks, nutmeg shavings, maple butter, toffee, and vanilla extract. These two are siblings. I will say that the Salted Maple Pumpkin has a little bit more of a salty accord in there. There's a little bit more saltiness with it that cuts down the sweetness. But let me tell you, I burned through an entire one of these Pumpkin Smash last year, and then I think these went on clearance like after Christmas for like $6. And I almost bought, I think I actually ordered two, but they only had one more in stock, and I ended up just getting the one. But ooh, this is a really nice kind of, it's like a creamy pumpkin scent, more of like a white pumpkin. In here, you get that salty note in the background. Maple, yes, but it's not like maple syrup cloying to me. Oh, this one is so good. I can't wait to start burning this one. You do get some of that creamy vanilla in the base notes. It is sweet, but it's not cloyingly sweet to my nose. I just have a feeling I'm really, really going to love this fragrance. So those are my 10/11 recommendations for fall fragrances that are still currently available on the Kringle Candle website. Now, the wait is over. I will share with you guys what candles I am planning to purchase tonight. I hope they stay in stock. I am only planning to purchase 3 candles in total between the 2 Halloween launches. When we are allowed to disclose the information for the phase 2 of the Halloween launch, you guys will not be surprised one bit with the candle that I am planning to purchase from the second launch. But from this first launch, I have decided to purchase 2 of the new fragrances. So the first fragrance that I do plan to purchase tonight is the Skull and Sonnet. I don't like the label on it. I will just be very honest with you. The label will probably be coming off on it. I know that that's not even like the creepiest one, but for me, I don't want to look at something like decaying sitting in my living room. But the fragrance notes on that really, really appeal to me. I've watched a couple of the other ambassadors, some of their reviews on it, and it definitely sounds like a fragrance that is going to be in my wheelhouse. There is kind of like a bourbon and a tobacco note in there. I know Brett, Philly Candleman, said that he feels like it's not really a replacement to Scarecrow, but like if you really liked the Scarecrow fragrance, then that will probably be in your wheelhouse. I do tend to like bourbon fragrances, obviously, with the Bourbon Bonfire. So that one I am hoping to pick up tonight. And then the other candle that has really appealed to me is the Haunted Hallows. That one, I actually don't mind the label on that one. I think that there's something kind of beautiful about that big moon with the dark castle in front of it. That one doesn't bother me too much. But the fragrance notes in there of kind of like a smoky fir. I'm thinking if I really like Homeworks' Fireside Christmas Tree. And even though I know that this is like a Halloween launch, anytime I see a fir tree note in there, I do think like, well, maybe it'll smell, I don't know. It just sounds like something that I would like. So those are the 2 candles that I plan on purchasing this evening. Let me know in the comment box down below, have you tried any of these candles that I've recommended? Do you have another favorite fall fragrance from Kringle that I did not mention in this video? Please feel free to leave that in the comment box down below. Hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And if you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles here. I do this is kind of like a little just like fun video where I just kind of give some recommendations, but I do like to do empties. I have a candle collection series, I do hauls, and I do a lot of dedicated reviews. So if you find yourself wanting to stick around for more candle content, please consider hitting that subscribe button before you get on out of here. Like I said, that Halloween preview video will be linked at the end of this one if you are interested in that. I've been talking a lot today, and I've got my son standing right behind the camera here. He's making silly faces at me. So I guess that's my sign to wrap it up. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.